how's it going, guys? Welcome back to another episode 25 The Outdoors. So this one's a little bit different. I am in our podcast studio. Sorry if you can hear. The reason I'm not filming this outside is because I don't know if you can hear it or not, but it's raining. So I came in here. I needed to get this video done. Trying to provide more content for you guys. By the way, I really appreciate all of our new subscribers. Welcome to 25 The Outdoors. We don't say that in a lot of our videos, so videos kind of like this. I appreciate every one of y'all, all of our new subscribers and our old subscribers, and all the ones to come. But we're getting even closer to our 1,000 subscriber mark. That seems unreal compared to where we started off with after our first and second video. We got to like 300 really fast, and then it like just slowly started to climb. But to thank y'all. So for our 1,000 subscriber mark, I don't know how much Zach's covered this, but I figured I'd just reinforce it. On 1,000 subscribers, we will be having a giveaway. We'll be giving away a dozen Black Eagle Zombie Slayers and some merch stuff. And this is how you win it. So if you're watching this on a phone, good, you're already where you need to be. If not, pull our channel up on your phone, screenshot to where it says you are subscribed to us, just at the home page on the regular channel page, and just a screenshot to where you can see that we can see that you are subscribed. And all you have to do is direct message us on either Instagram or Facebook, 25 Feet Outdoors, to show that screenshot to show that you're subscribed, and that's how you enter into a chance to win. The reason we just don't pick a random subscriber is because not everybody's subscriber that's a subscriber shows up on our subscriber list where we can look at it. A lot of people have their stuff set on private to where you can't tell who's subscribed to you. They just subscribe to you. So that's the way that some people have it, and I don't really know why YouTube does that, but you can change that setting. But anyway, we're going to get closer and get down into what this video is about today. And the name of this video is Best Budget Trail Camera Under $60. And I got a couple right here that are right at that 65-ish range, but we're just doing budget trail cameras, and we're going to talk about it right after the intro. Alright guys, so first up, we're going to talk about the most expensive camera on my list. And these are just 4 that I have experience with, 4 that I've used, and the most expensive one is $65, and then it goes down. So the most expensive one is this one. This is the Moultrie A series. It's the model number is MCG 13238. It is a 12 megapixel game camera, and it is $64.99 off of Amazon. That's the only place I found it. I think I got this one from Lancaster Archery last year. It was either Lancaster or Amazon, and it is a really dependable game camera in my experience. I think I own like 7 of these, and it is $65.99. Of course, sometimes you can't find any of these cameras on sale for even cheaper than that. The reason I put this one in it is because of just how dependable it is, and it's $5 difference between $60. I don't like spending a lot of money on trail cameras, but this is about. I have a couple of the cell cameras, 5 points, but they're in a completely different ball game for its price point. So this is the second most expensive type of camera that I have, and it is the Moultrie A series. And I just think it does really good on picture quality. It's really dependable as far as taking pictures. You can set it however you want to set it up, as far as your delays and everything like that. But it's just a great overall camera. Let's see, what's it say right here? It's on here. It has I think it's 30i for the infrared, and it's just the overall really good camera. I can't get down into the really technical stuff of these cameras, but it's a 12 megapixel camera for $64.99 off of Amazon. So I think I think you can't go wrong with this choice. It's just my honest opinion. I really like a lot of Moultrie products, and they just seem to run really well at a more economical price level. Of course, they do have their $200 or $300 cameras, but for $65, I really don't think you can beat this camera. But going from $65, so this one's gonna sound weird at first, but it makes sense. This camera is the Muddy. It is the MTC 200, and it is an 8 megapixel camera, 18 megapixel camera, and this one's $64.99 too. It's not really. This camera's really not $64.99 just for the camera. It's $64.99, but it also comes with the batteries and a 8 gigabyte SD card. So if you were to buy this camera, just this camera, it would be up underneath $60. I mean, even a cheap SD card, that's $12. And then a pack of batteries are outrageous nowadays. But you do have to buy batteries for every one of these. These just come with it. But this is I'm going to start off. I don't really like talking bad about any type of brand. This camera is very dependable. The battery life is really good. It has tree sap on it, by the way, if that's what y'all... I used all of these cameras last year and a couple of them the year before that. But I got this camera last year and used it. And I don't like talking bad about any products, because I think every one of these products, every one of these companies make solid products, make really good products, especially for price points, and you'll understand the price point thing later. But the Muddy camera has awesome battery life. I put one set of Duracells in this camera in, I think it was right at the beginning of August, which I'm about to go put these things out, so that's the reason I videoed this now. And the batteries lasted all the way till January, and that's taking, 1,000 pictures a week almost. And the battery life is insanely good. But the picture quality, even though this one says it's 18 megapixels, really isn't as good as any, I'm going to be honest with you, this camera has lower picture quality than any of the other ones. It's fine. Daytime pictures, of course. Daytime pictures on every one of these cameras are going to be pretty good. But nighttime pictures is really where you tell the difference in camera. And maybe the infrared just isn't there on this camera, but you can't, the best way I can describe it, it puts like a halo of black all the way around it, and you can only see what's in the very center of the picture. And so I'm going to say this one right here is the lowest on my list as far as picture quality, but battery life is good, and I will use it still, but I'm not going to put it in what I find to be more of a prime spot. Far as I'm going to put this camera somewhere random and just see what comes out in front of it, because it will still work for that. But the picture quality at night just isn't the way I want to be. And I like to you obviously can't hunt deer at night, but knowing that deer's in that area at that particular time is very important to the way that I scout and the way I locate deer. But very good battery life, not the best picture quality. And then this one. This is a wild game. It's the TX12I34W-8 model number. And this wild game is a 12 megapixel camera. And you can buy, I saw one today. I didn't buy another one because I have a couple of them. I saw this camera today in Walmart for $48. And frankly, for $48, $50, I don't know if you can find a better camera. It seems very dependable. I've had this one for 2 years now. For granted, I may put it out this weekend and it not work. But I know I've had this particular camera for 2 years and it has not let me down as of yet. But for $48, it's well worth the 2-year investment. And if it was to not work ever again, I would probably go back and buy another one and hope I get another 2 years out of it. But it takes really good, like, beautiful daytime pictures. I wish I had pictures to show y'all, but I deleted all but a few of my trail camera pictures from last year, and I have so many. Like I have like three or four of this camera, but some of them are the black label ones that are actually just a couple dollars cheaper, which are good. But I just figured that $48 one was good enough to show you. But there is a slightly cheaper version of it that's solid black, and then they have a slightly upgraded version of this camera that's, I think it's around $55 or $56. But any of those wild game products, I like a lot of wild games cameras. I don't think they quite reach the reliability and picture quality of Moultrie, but I do like the wild game cameras, and I like buying a bunch of different stuff. Of course, we're not sponsored by any of these companies. I just straight up honest review. But if you're with any of these companies and you're watching this video, hit me up. I sure would like to talk to you. But it's a very good camera. It takes very good pictures of daytime and night. And I just think for around that $48 price point range, I don't think you can beat the Wild Games. Of course, they have a slightly cheaper one, and then they have a slightly more expensive one. Then they have a lot of other cameras above and everywhere in between. But for $48, I don't think you can beat this camera. And last but not least is I know for a fact there is some other guys that have done YouTube videos on this camera. And I will be honest with you, I have never had a camera shock me more than this one. This camera shocks me far as its picture quality. That is unbelievable how the picture quality is compared to how much this camera costs. So this is the Tasco. It is the 11927-1CW. It is a 8 megapixel trail camera. That sounds bad. I mean, that used to be like 20 years ago that this would have been the stuff. But now 8 megapixels, really not that much. I mean, 12. Supposedly 18, then 12, and this is 8. I believe they make a version of this that is a 12, and I have yet to try one of those, but I might. But anyway, this camera is a whopping $28 at Walmart. I've owned 5 of these in the past 2 years. I still have 3 of them. So that's a disclaimer. I've had some of these cameras break. Now, I don't know what their warranty is on this camera. I may have could have sent them back, but at $28, I just figured that probably wasn't worth the headache of buying a shipping label, sending it back, and then waiting. Anyway, $28 shipping to ship this thing back is going to be half that. So I would just throw it away and buy another one. $28, you can afford to do that. This camera takes probably, this $28 camera definitely takes better pictures than this, without a doubt. It's kind of somewhere around this quality of the wild game, but it's just really, for $28, it may break. There's only 2 downsides to this camera. I've had 2 go out of 5. It's $28. I didn't really have very high expectations. This camera has blew my expectations out of the water, even with those 2 that went out. Those 2 did last for like 6 months or something like that, which is longer than the life expectancy of a camera that is put on public land. Most of those cameras are stolen, my experience anyway. But the picture quality is insane. And then the other downfall to this is battery life. It takes really good pictures, but the battery life is somewhere between a month to 2 months. They're not going to last forever. And of course, the more money you spend on batteries, like Duracells, Duracells is about what I got my best work out of with this camera, and it was roughly 2 months. You might could put the Duracell Optimum batteries in there, get a little bit more, but at that point, you're putting in the equivalent of this camera in batteries in it. So I typically use these cameras at spots that I know they're not going to be there long, whether that be a public land spot or a spot that I'm just kind of. So if I'm trying to pinpoint a deer's location and I'm moving a camera after a week of it being there, I'll drop these in there and then check it out, completely pull the camera after a week, check it, see if that buck that I'm pinpointing is in that area, is walking in front of this camera. The spots that I know are there at, I put something like this or even these. But those outlying spots, the spots that you probably want to be hunting on to try to kill that animal, whether it's traveling to a food source or from a food source, I would probably put this camera in there because I know I'm not going to leave it long. Because honestly, the lesser amount of time that you leave a trail camera in a spot, the better your hunting results are probably going to be, because this does add an element to the area, whether or not it has scent on it or if. I mean, I've seen deer stare down a infrared camera at night that was $150 to $200 with really good infrared technology. So they are smarter than what you would think. They pinpoint that camera's location. So I try to, if it's a spot like that, I get a picture of them, pull it out a week later, and just hope they continue down that path. I don't ever continuously leave this camera in one spot, usually, unless it's just a random spot I want to see, and I'll leave it for maybe the entire battery life. But this camera right here is definitely the best camera you can buy, in my opinion, under $30. Honestly, it might be the best camera you can buy under $40. Other than maybe the Black Wild Game, which I think the Black Wild Game is 10 megapixels. I may be wrong. Do not quote me on that. But I think this is probably the best bang for your buck. The only downside is battery life, and it's not going to last. very like it's not going to last as long as these more expensive cameras. Of course, any of these cameras could just randomly break. They are less than $70 for a camera. I mean, video cameras and stuff are out. Just I mean, I don't even know if you can buy them anymore. But the little disposable cameras will be $14 or $15. So yeah, so you're getting a lot of technology in this package right here. But $28 for an 8 megapixel camera that takes really, really good pictures. And if y'all have used these, if any of y'all guys have used these, down in the comments below, tell me your experience with these cameras. I like them for $28. I will continue to buy them, I believe, as long as they stay at that price point. If they go more, I'll stop buying them. I'll start buying these. But my favorite camera out of here is the Multi, but of course it is at the higher end. But if I was going to pick between this bracket right here, between these three, that is number one, that is number two, that is three. But out of all of them, this is 1, 2, 3. I like this one, and this one is a little bit more than twice the amount. This is the Tasco. But I figured everybody's getting about that time where they're putting out trail cameras, and I thought I would just throw my 2 cents in. Take it how you want to, but in my opinion, this is your best lineup for budget trail cameras. I have tried and tried and tried a ton of different variances and stuff, and I have some more expensive trail cameras, but I really don't like more expensive trail cameras. For one, they cost you a lot of money. I'd rather have 5 of these before I would, a $250 camera. I'd rather be able to cover more ground with this or this or this or that, and instead of buying more expensive ones. I like seeing a lot more. I don't like putting these expensive cameras in one location. Now, if I was on the outdoor channel, these guys getting them for free, of course I would want the most expensive option. But I don't get them for free. I buy them just like 99.99% of the people that will watch this. And this is just what I like to buy. Of course, if you got the money to buy 5 or 6 or 10 or 12 of the $200 ones, I'm proud of you. Congratulations. You probably worked hard for your money and you've done it the right way. So, congratulations. But as far as your typical guy, your typical hunter, I think any of these 3, you can't go wrong. I think this is a pretty good camera. I think it's not worth $65. Of course, it does come with the SD card and the batteries. And the batteries are like 12, 14 bucks. And the SD card is like 12, 14 bucks. But I think out of those 3, the Multi, the Wild Game, and the Tasco, for their price points, I think they're very good cameras. So I'm going to try to keep this video, I don't even know how long it's been, but I'm going to try to keep it a little bit shorter. But if y'all have any questions, or if y'all have any questions or anything, comment them down below. If I can, and I'll try to answer as many as I can about my experience with them. I just think if I didn't have a good experience with these 3, I would tell you that. This camera, like I said, Muddy makes some awesome products. Muddy makes some of the best products in the outdoor industry. There's no doubt about that. I used one of their camera arms for years. And this camera and their other cameras, this is the only Muddy camera I've ever tried. Their other cameras may be awesome. So don't knock Muddy just because I tell you this camera is not it. There are more expensive ones or their cheaper ones may do better. I don't know. I may have got a bad camera. It still works, but the picture quality at nighttime is terrible. But don't knock Muddy. They make some awesome stuff. This is my personal experience with trail cameras. So, yeah. Try any of these out. If you've ever tried any of these, comment down below. Tell me which one your favorite is. And then make sure you like and subscribe. Also, don't forget the 1,000 subscriber giveaway. We're 870 something, I think. Let's see. Hold on. It's not gonna tell me. I had terrible service in this building. I think we're at 870 something. I may be wrong, but anyway, yeah. Don't forget that subscriber giveaway, and stay tuned for more videos. If you have anything you want us to sit down and talk about, kind of like this, whether it be me or Zach or maybe both of us together, some of us together videos are going to be more scattered in between because Zach is getting ready to move off to go to college, which is only about 3.5, 4 hours away. So there's definitely going to be more videos of us together, but they're going to be more far in between. But if you have any video ideas, 1 or 2 cents on something, comment down below. Also, don't forget about the giveaway, and please, whatever you do in your life, never forget to live life 25 high.